You know what I think is so powerful about that is that's Captain America showing, showing everyone out there that he's not necessarily a certain part of America, but he's trying to be an honest representation of the American people and something for us to aspire to. And in Civil War, I really think they got that right. Number three is The Flash. And by The Flash, I mean Wally West. Nothing wrong with Barry Allen. Love Barry Allen too. But Wally West is my favorite because as a legacy character, he is aspirational. The reason he's the Flash is because he loved Barry Allen as the Flash. And so his entire tenure there, as the main Flash once Barry Allen's gone, is that he wants to be as good as Barry Allen. And he's always fighting himself, and he's always trying to work himself up and get better and better and better and be the hero that Barry was. And so my favorite story with him is his part in Infinite Crisis, when everybody's trying to deal with Superboy Prime, and no one's quite powerful enough to take him down. He's stronger than the main universe Superman. The main version of Superboy dies just to slow him down. They're throwing everything at him, and they're not getting any ground. And so the Flash makes the first serious step forward in actually defeating Superboy Prime. What he does is he grabs hold of him, and he uses his speed. He runs. He runs as fast and as hard as he can, and he runs so fast that the both of them just disappear. And if you know your comic book's history, that's exactly how Barry Allen died. And so you have Wally following in Barry's footsteps so exactly that he meets the same end. And by doing that, he proves that he's just as fast as Barry, and that he's just as brave, and he's willing to lay his life down. And that is the culmination of everything that that they've been leading up to since Wally became the Flash. Number two is Captain Marvel. I mean Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, because me, again, I love the legacy characters. And for her, I think that the problem they've had is they introduced her as a female counterpart to the original Captain Marvel, Marvel. And then for years later, they tried to progress her and do something cool with her for years, and nothing really took off for the longest time until because this one kind of goes back again to Civil War. After Civil War, she played a big part in it. A lot of the heroes are out of action for one reason or another, right? And here is my favorite moment of Captain Marvel. It's back when she was Miss Marvel, right after Civil War. And Iron Man is there without Steve Rogers. There's no Captain America. And he's trying to figure out what the Avengers are going to do. And so he is putting together his team. The very first person he picks is Miss Marvel. And he tells her up front the reason that he chose her is to have a leader. That he saw in her a lot of the same qualities that made Captain America a great leader for the Avengers. And so they pick a team together. And just because it's comic books, the story works perfectly. So that Iron Man, on their very first mission, Iron Man is infected with Ultron. And by the way, it looks god-awful. It looks so painful. But there she is on their first mission with this team to lead, and Iron Man's not around. And she really pulls it together and makes it work, and has a lot of awesome moments, just being super powerful and all. And I think that was one of the big moments that led to her taking the Captain Marvel name, getting her own awesome series that's going on right now, and just getting progressively better and better. And I can't wait for the movie. And finally, number one, of course, is Spider-Man. I'm going to kind of cheat here by mentioning multiple people. I guess I'm mostly going with Peter Parker here, but also May Parker, Miles Morales, Kane, the cloned Ultimate Jessica Drew. I really love all those characters. But mostly talking about Peter Parker here. Probably my first superhero, definitely my favorite. And for my favorite story with him, I'm gonna go with the kind of weird one, Back in Black. And if you don't know what that is, I'll explain it. If you do know what it is, you're probably asking what's wrong with me. But it is the story that leads right into One More Day and Brand New Day. If you know what that is, it is widely considered to be the worst story in comic books ever. It's a cop-out, it's cheap, It's horrible. It destroys continuity as well as the good faith of the readers. What I'm saying here is it's really easy to let that taint Back in Black as a story for you because it goes into that. But I say the worst sin of One More Day is taking away the ending of Back in Black. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, now that you know the big downside here, Back in Black is an amazing story. Now, Civil War, it was okay and all, and like I mentioned earlier, I love Captain America's role in it. But I don't think it was the most amazing thing in the world. What it really did, though, was some of the things tied into it were brilliant. There's that Captain America story, there's that Avengers that they kind of had to change up because of everything that happened in Civil War, and also Spider-Man. One of the main points in Civil War is Spider-Man, right? He unmasks on camera, reveals his secret identity. And if you're like me, the very first thing you think is, that is so stupid. Especially since Iron Man's pretty much the one that convinced him to do it. Iron Man has no family. He doesn't care if people know who he is. Peter Parker, on the other hand, has his wife, he has his old aunt, and you can imagine what would happen once he outs himself, and guess what? It does happen. At the end of Civil War, Kingpin hires an assassin that shoots Aunt May. And so Back in Black focuses on that. It tells that story. It tells one of the very few Spider-Man stories that progresses the character very far, very rapidly. It goes places that other stories don't. Because you have Peter Parker racked with guilt because it is his stupid decision that got his aunt shot, and she's dying, and there's nothing he can do about it. And he does exactly what he should do. Exactly what I expect from the Peter Parker that I've been reading for years. Absolute living shit out of the Kingpin. He hits him, and he mocks him, and he shows him how small someone without powers is to him. It's very rewarding, and to see so much distance from a typical Spider-Man story with the villain of the week. It's a breath of fresh air, and like I said earlier, it's all tainted when they take it all away. If I could change one thing about it, it would be that this would be a what-if story, and I would get to see the conclusion. Now for the fun part. That was my top 9. Now here's my bottom 1. Here's my 10th entry on the list. The one superhero that can just go fuck. Number -1 is Daredevil. For one simple reason, too. He's not a superhero. Daredevil does not work as a superhero at all. And that doesn't mean that I dislike the character. Actually, I really love Daredevil, Matt Murdock. I even like the movie. Michael Clark Duncan is the Kingpin. Am I right? Daredevil is like the antithesis to certain heroes like Captain America or Batman. They're awesome, even though they don't have any powers. Okay, Daredevil has a power, and he still kind of sucks, because I get that he's a really, great fighter and all, but he's not any better than Hawkeye or Iron Fist. He's certainly not as good as Captain America. So when you factor in the fact that he has a power and still isn't that great, you're not that super. So I still have an awesome moment for him, and it's any time that he's in court. Matt Murdock is an excellent lawyer, and I love seeing that side of him come into play. And I don't mind it when Daredevil's just fighting gangs, guys with guns and knives. But if Daredevil touches a supervillain or hangs out with a supergroup, then you can just load up that weak sauce, take it on down the road. I don't want any of it. Okay, that's been my list. And now it's time for my question of the week. Alright, the question I'm asking you guys is, what is the most ridiculous storyline you've ever seen in a comic book or with superheroes in general, ever? For me, I think the most ridiculous is Superior Spider-Man. The idea that a supervillain takes over the body of a hero for 1 year. We get Doc Ock dressing up as Spider-Man for a year. And then he shows up in Spider-Verse again. And oh my god. Who even thought that up? Yeah. Anyway, that's my personal answer. You tell me, What's the most ridiculous superhero story? Leave your answer down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. And next week on Comics Tuesday, are Archie and Veronica right for each other? Thanks for watching.